going to do your 30-minute spiritual healing now. So, you shared some really unique things with me. One of the biggest things you want to work on is anxiety about it's a fear, it's a challenge for you to go out late at night by yourself. You really want to have more social interactions with adults, and you spend a lot of time with children, but you want to have more social interactions with adults at night. But you have this difficulty, this fear about being out after dark, and even sort of a creature of habit. Like if you do go out after dark, you kind of do very specific. You don't want to go to the bathroom alone. You want to always move back to the exact same spot that you were sitting in originally. So you really want to help to understand this, to let go of this. You really want to work on this. Another one is you were telling me about some severe sinus infections, really severe ones, along with other issues related to the mouth. One thing you need to try out, Rose, is gargling with peroxide. It helps with, it kills everything. Peroxide, right? It gets to the infection, it bubbles it out of there, it cleans things, it brings air bubbles into places where the air can't get into. Just cleans it out of there. Trust me, any issues with gums and teeth and breath and stuff like that, it'll go away very quickly as long as you're gargling with peroxide. I gargle with peroxide. I use peroxide. It totally works. So you should try that out. Well, we'll check out the sinus infection. And then, let me see, this other one here. There's a project. So you have this property that you've been renovating. The first one took 2 years. This one has been going on for 7 years now, and you cannot seem to finish it. And you're wanting to know what this is all about. So, okay. So we'll see what all we can tackle, okay? Just going to relax and fear about the night. Fear about being out at night. This is the first one here. Instantly, there's sort of a bubble that pops. It's sort of a tar bubble that's really hardened. It's still got some goop to it, but it's sort of like a blubbly thing, and then it just popped. That's a good thing, by the way. It's just a stickiness in here, but I'm not experiencing so much of the stickiness, but it's getting a little bit more and more intense for me. So let me just continue to focus on where I'm moving at in this space. It's not good. Give me some time to analyze it all. It's sort of like a tar pond, a mucky, swampy tar pond. And there's bubbles that come up from deep, deep down inside. And when they come up very, very slowly, it's kind of cool. I mean, those where are these air pockets coming from? Maybe this has something to do with sinuses. They're saying this is the first thing we need to show you. And so there's like really deep down like air that it's like a miracle how they can slowly come up to the top. But you see it's so thick and goopy that it sort of gets to the top, to the very, like, there's the line of the top, and then it pulls the actual tar into a bubble form, and then it just sort of solidifies, and then it pops. And it's really a slow process. It's horrible, and it's like a miracle at the same time. I feel gross in here. I feel like I'm slathered in grossness. I feel nasty. And I'm telling you, it's head to toe. It's not like this is just in the sinus area. It feels like a head to toe, like, ew, kind of feeling. I feel like I'm this nasty pond. I'm this nasty pond with really slow bubbles that are slowly coming up. And I'm so sick of being this. I'm so sick of feeling this. It's really stagnant energy. This would also explain why things aren't moving very quickly for you in life. It's all really intertwined together. It's weird. It's like, so crazy how reflective things can manifest in different ways, Sinuses with just really jammed up, clogged up nose and all that, and even on a painful level. And then is sort of jammed up, can't get the house done renovation experience. And then there's something about this is sticky. It's that we're not changing things. We're not motivated to move in different ways. You want this deep down inside, but you're working with this goopiness. Makes it very difficult. I actually, I almost feel so gross, like a swamp monster. Who would want to kiss me? Because you need to see yourself, Rose. You yourself, your consciousness is saying, I'm this gross tar pond. I'm this gross swamp. I'm this gross thing. And who would even want to kiss me with this gross. This is my mouth, is this tar pit, and with these very slow moving air pockets slowly coming up to the surface. Who wants to kiss me? I'm gross. That's what everything says. How am I supposed to purify this, Rose? How am I supposed to help you to see how not gross you are? How am I supposed to help you pull you out of this deep muck? Because you're not this. Some part of you is buried down inside of here. And it's been buried for so long, you forgot about yourself. You forgot yourself in all of this. And you left a part of yourself in there, and now it's the consciousness that is you. Now you are this nasty swamp, tar pond, bubbly grossness. I have to find the consciousness that you are and pull you out of here. But spirit is saying you can pull yourself out of here at any time. Why are you choosing to identify yourself as this? Because when you identify yourself as this, now you are this magically. Ta-da! You identify yourself as this, and now you are this. Ta-da! Pull a rabbit out of the hat. You choose, and now you are this. So even for me, it's like, I want to help her. I want to help her. I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to clear this up. I'm going to make this go away. But there's still this energy that says, what are you doing to make this go away? Because once I help do my part in all of this, what are you doing in all of this? There's something, it's just, this conversation too is making me, something else that is really bothering me. Something new wave of energy. It's like I'm in I'm trapped. I'm in a prison. I can't get out of it. I can't see anything. I'm totally blind. But yet the sensation, the consciousness identifies itself as being trapped or locked away in a prison. I'm talking to the consciousness right now. I'm talking to the consciousness and helping it to identify itself differently. You have a lot of deep and energy weights going on here that even when you try to talk positively or move out of this, they sort of instantly shackle to your ankles to try to pull you back down. So how do you become the air bubble that can slowly move that consciousness out of the pond if the pond itself is now like, no, you can't leave. You can't go anywhere. How dare you have positive thoughts? No, we're going to soak you up in this. You just do it firmly. You just say, no, I'm not the pond. I'm not the gross pond. I'm not in a prison. It's interesting because I see people, and I see this is very common to have enter into people's spiritual atmospheres and versions of their consciousness feel imprisoned. As human beings, a lot of us feel like we have no control in this world, and therefore we're sort of imprisoned in the structure of society, right? And so, but your consciousness, your version of imprisonment is really dense and it is really heavy. And when you try to get a motivation to, kind of push it away, it instantly solidifies. The motivation itself instantly turns into a solid. So how far can your motivations really take you when the spark of motivation instantly gets solidified, or really thick, like this tar bubbly mess? And so even the motivation for you to get out of this, to get out of all of this, the motivation instantly sort of turns into a solid. So it's a different version of imprisonment. But you are fully capable of, we're only in the beginning of this thing. There's a lot we're going to do for you. There's more Spirit needs to show me about the density of it all, how deep down inside we are, how stuck in the mud we are, and it's a tar-like mud. Is a blind person, imagine a blind human being, are they lost in this world? Because they cannot see, can they not find their way? I have no eyesight, therefore I cannot see, therefore I cannot find my way. Is that the truth about actual blind people, people who are blind in this world? Can they not find their way? They can still, on some miraculous level, do amazing things without their eyes. And they're perfectly capable of finding their way in this world without eyesight. And they do it. It's a miracle. I think it's a miracle that they can do that. That's all I'm supposed to say right now. This has to do with the dark as well. The night. Man, your energy field, your spiritual atmosphere, it really is slow. It really is an extremely low sound, so low it's hard to hear it. It's really slow, it's really dense, it's really heavy. It's no wonder you're having a hard time making things happen. Even in here, it's hard for me to create activity because it's so slow and so dense, and part of it is your own creation. I'm going deeper into all of this. Spirit's got a plan here, so I just have to keep going with what they have to say. Even deeper down, there's some sort of girl wearing, it's like a Little Red Riding Hood, but really cool. Really, it's not like, it's even hard for me to breathe and to talk down this low, this deep inside of you. It's like a Little Red Riding Hood. She has a red key. She's really cool looking. I mean, it's a really sort of modern drawing of her, still like a young girl, but really accentuating the colors and fiber of her hair, her rosy cheeks, identifying her perfect lips and eyes that are super blue, this perfect red cape, perfect outfit, and really handling this trip to Grandma's house in the woods by herself, and a wolf that is lurking. Everything, we're looking at the story, we're turning a page. We never see the wolf, though. The next page, there are no illustrations, there's nothing else. We're looking at nothing on the next page. She has the key, though. She holds the key. She is inside of a room, locked inside of a room, locked inside of herself. She is afraid to leave this room. She's afraid to go outside at night. She's afraid to go into the woods to walk to Grandma's house at night. And she never sees the wolf. In this story, she never actually sees the wolf. In this story, she knows nothing about fear of a wolf, but yet she has nothing but fear of the potential or the possibilities deep down inside. It's not as if she is thinking about the worst. She just feels fearful or concern. There's something more twisted to this story that goes into an even deeper space. It's a fuzzy bubbles. It's fizzy, just a fizzy drink. It looks like a beer. Got a golden color to it. It's got fuzzy bubbles. Is fizzy, and it's got a rim of froth. There's again the Little Red Riding Hood type of scenario in what is an old time type of tavern. like 1700s or something. Even kind of the wood is aged, and people just carry on with that type of facade or expression that's sort of that time. She is alone at the bar with the beer. Little Red Riding Hood is. She's stunning. I mean, she's like a little girl, but she's way too stunning for her age. You know what I mean? Like, it's those insanely beautiful eyes. Like, they're like gemstones. It's her perfect facial features. There's a perfect rosy cheeks. The thing is it's the style of the illustration brings out some sort of sex appeal to somebody who's a little bit too young to be that sexy. You know what I mean? But you don't really notice the youthful age because of how just stunning she is. And she's obviously an adult. She's in a bar having a beer, but there's something childlike about her and how she is. You would see a child at a bar. Anybody would see a child is sitting at the bar. A new version of me is walking into the bar and I'm like, why is this little kid here with a beer at the bar? That doesn't make sense. And I see the Little Red Riding Hood is actually kind of like hood up. Nobody see me. I'm at the bar with all these dingy folk. They're dingy, stinky folk from like the 1700s or something. A little candle lit around the place. A bartender drying out some glasses. Doesn't anybody else see there's a kid at the bar? Doesn't anybody else see there's a kid at the bar? There is a big wolf also sitting at the bar about 5 stools down. And there's only 2 people at the bar. Actual at the bar top, not at the tables. The little girl, who's almost at the very end, and a big, massive wolf, humongous, with a hood up, trying to disguise himself. I'm seeing a wolf in a big coat with a hood up and a little girl at the bar. Nobody else seems to notice there's something weird going on here. I notice. The bartender doesn't notice. The people talking don't notice. Everything seems like a normal day. Normal evening, a normal nightly affair. She stays. She does not feel motivation to leave. She just stays there with her beer as though her drink or her beer it supports her emotionally. Not the actual alcohol, but the object. Having the glass becomes like a supportive consciousness. To have something in her hand so she's not sitting there alone, like totally nothing going on. She needs to have that object in her hand. It makes her feel not alone. Saying, you're not alone. Did you notice there's people everywhere in here and a giant wolf in a coat? Like, you're totally not alone. And that's okay. Like, there's something about this. You feel totally in your own world alone at a bar full of people. Most people who walk into a bar without any friends there, just themselves, feel alone, but they don't necessarily. They feel that they're here with a lot of people at an event, a drinking event, a socializing event. They don't necessarily feel alone. You feel totally alone and nervous, like nobody's just crazy nervous. I'm helping to expand your spiritual atmosphere, which is sort of saran wrapped around you and your hand and your glass, and I'm helping to pull it out of you so you can see. You can feel the connectedness with everybody else that is here. You're not alone. There's all these people here. It's an event. It's fun. It's people here. And I'm not saying, there's nothing necessarily wrong with this big wolf guy. He just happens to be a big guy that's also a wolf wearing a coat and also has his hood up like you. You too have your hood up. You're the weirdo. You're the one like this. Everybody else is totally normal. There's something I'm telling you is like the craziest scene ever right now. It's kind of fun for me. I want to see is there like what else is here. Like I want to go check it out. It's like got a Harry Potter kind of effect to it. It's just surreal, you know. I'm in the Red Riding Hood story on some different level. As I open you up to everybody, that doesn't change, that doesn't alter the way that you feel. You feel watched by this wolf. You feel like this wolf sees you. You feel like this wolf is stalking you. You feel like this wolf knows who you are. And that bothers you. You feel like you can't defend yourself from whatever this wolf attacker might do to you, even eat you alive. I'm having you get off of your stool. You're going to leave your glass on the tavern, on this bar. You're going to walk over to the wolf and you're going to look the wolf in the eyes. If there's any more a safe place, it's this bar here with all these people. Let's go meet the wolf, okay? Let's go look at your own fear. There's something incorrect about. I see you. One version sees you as the most dazzling, most delicious, most sexy, most wowzery little thing I've ever seen. And it's not necessarily, it's, I don't know where that consciousness is coming from. That is what it is. On another version, on the flip side of the coin, I see you as a little girl in a drab sort of Red Riding Hood coat. You look downtrodden, you look sad, you look scared inside, you look like you need a friend in your life. You look like that. So who really are you? What are you? Are you perfectly chiseled lips, beautiful big blue eyes and rosy red cheeks and stunning like nobody's business? Or are you actually a scared little girl? Which one are you? You don't even know. I just your consciousness, I don't know which one I am. It still doesn't know. Doesn't even know how it wants to present itself to me, Little Red Riding Hood. I continue to see her as downtrodden. She doesn't even know how the big bad wolf would see her. Maybe the wolf sees all of her beautiful charms. Maybe the wolf is up to something. Maybe. Maybe though. But maybe. It's like take out the maybes, take out whatever you think about this wolf, whatever you think your fear's consciousness is thinking about. That's why we got to pull ourselves back into ourselves. We got to just say I am. You know, I just stop trying to figure out what everybody else's mind is thinking about. Stop trying to figure out what everybody else is trying to accomplish in their life and how they may be thinking about you and seeing you and feeling about you. Because you trying to keep up with everybody's potential thoughts and feelings is going to make it impossible for you to have a normal sort of evening. Find yourself inside yourself. Pull yourself inside yourself. Not saran wrap yourself into like a. But feel the energy of the inner power, the inner strength. You're not here to figure out everybody else's life. You're here to be the goddess that you are. The energy of power, the energy of strength, the energy of love, the energy of vitality, the energy of truth, the energy of happiness that you are. You instead here it's I don't know who I am. I don't really know how to express myself. I don't know what my face forward is, but I feel scared and the only thing that helps me to not feel completely vulnerable is the fact that I have a glass here. But there's a giant wolf over there. It feels like he's stalking me and I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know what he's about. And all I can think about is that, and I don't even know why I'm here right now. There's nobody else even here right now. There's all these thoughts going on. So how do we get rid of all these thoughts? We just say I'm here. That's all we know. And I want to come here. I want to be here. I want to have this moment here because I want to. I don't give a shit what everybody else is thinking. I don't care. That's for them. Trust me. If half the things that we can come up with as a way of identifying other people, we're always judging everybody else. And instead of just saying, how can I work on me today? We take so much time out of our day to figure it out everybody else, but we don't take the time to say, how can I work on me today at every single moment? If we took all that time and focused it internal, how can I work on me today? Now we're spending hours working on ourselves, and now hours empowering ourselves, hours feeling alive, you know? This is helping you. I'm telling you, this is good. Good things are happening. The density, all that stuff is starting to just go away a little bit. I'm feeling a lot more air coming in, a lot more breathing coming into like the mucky, and all of these scenes are a bubble, way, 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 way down in a tar pit, and your consciousness is stuck way down there. This consciousness. And we're slowly lifting it out of there, and then we'll get you out of there, and then you'll be free. You'll be totally free. A whole new feeling about yourself and the world around you. We have to go through these little mazes and these little consciousness spaces and help to contemplate the programming that you are going through right now, right? So we got to go to those places, and then we can start lifting them up and out of there, especially with all that sticky goop. You're still standing in front of the wolf. The wolf isn't doing anything. The wolf is just, it's like he's a statue. He's waiting for you to decide. You can do anything you want in this space. Maybe, should you punch him in the face? We don't even know that he's stalking you. We don't even know what he's about. He's just a big guy. He's kind of grisly looking because he's a wolf. Everybody else around here is a person. Obviously, we know the storyline, but that's not necessarily this story. That's not necessarily the story at all. And I don't get any impression you're living that story in this life. And you need to know that you're safe. Otherwise, you're going to be living like Little Red Riding Hood, fearing a big bad wolf that we don't. Where is the big bad wolf? I don't see any attackers here. I don't see any stalkers. I don't see any freaks. I don't see anybody actually trying to hurt you here. I see you in a state of concern about a lot of things, but having no real grounding or placement to put your finger on where the concern is coming from. It just is there. It's just harboring there. The big bad wolf is a man. He was wearing a Halloween costume. He's actually unzipping it and coming out and saying, "Surprise! You thought I was a wolf. You're silly." Why are you wearing that costume anyway? Why are you dressed up like a little downtrodden Little Red Riding Hood? Are you here to have fun? Are you here to freak out? Like, seriously, let's have fun. We're here at a tavern. It's old school style. Let's enjoy ourselves. Let's go see who these weirdos are at the table. Let's go talk to the bartender. Don't you want to? It's fun here. Why are you being so silly and weird at the end of the bar like that? And I was tricking you. It's just a person inside of a costume. Why are you wearing a costume? It's funny. It's really funny. We don't know because it's not actually Halloween. There's some reason you two both had some idea that you would wear a costume. He's happy to see you. He's actually, that's sort of an about, he pulls the string and has you take off the hoods and everything. He's pulling, it's an inner child reflection. He is doing something to help the inner child grow up into a beautiful woman who wants to feel a part of the world, who wants to feel her adult womanness reflection a part of the world, and wants to experience that. And he's helping you grow. You're on the verge of growing in a lot of ways, actually. He's showing me a lot more than that. There's something about several trees being planted in this mucky muck that are soaking up that energy inside themselves and growing really big and tall. And through that, it's dissolving all that sticky energy, and that's preventing you from having progress. You're finding the light inside of yourself. You're starting to glow, which is helping you grow, just like a seed, just like a child into an adult, like a seed into a fully grown tree. You're starting to grow. In this tavern space with this man, you're slowly letting go of your childlike facade. You were wearing a costume, even. The childlike facade was a costume. Actually, the face, the body, everything about it was a costume. It was an energy costume. That too is being let go of. On the inside, on the other side of the childlike costume is an adult woman who looks thin, who looks really closed up and thin, with really thin, long hair even. Just shy and not exactly sure how to be her own light. Oddly compressed. Slowly, like literally, like fold your arm like 5 times, and then like literally perfectly folded and compressed body smushed in just a little head here. Like that's what you're like, and you're unfolding yourself. You are like a balloon. Now you're filling up with air, but you're filling up with mass, you're filling up with naturalness, you're filling up with confidence. You're finding yourself, you are feeling yourself in the space. You are getting bigger. You are blowing up, like you were folded up, like you fold clothes, but it's a person. You're not so thin or pale or sickly looking. You're starting to come to life. Boy, this is a huge would be a huge thing. You doing this is a huge applause for you. You doing this and letting go of the maybes and the fears and the concerns is a huge applause for you. You're already accomplishing it here. It's tricky. It's a little tricky, but it's being accomplished, which means you can accomplish this in the physical world, in our real world experience. It does help for you to have a friendly face or somebody that you know, because having him here does help you find yourself as well. But my spirit guides say, but who is he? He's not necessarily somebody you're familiar with yet, is sort of what it's like. But yet you know this person, absolutely. I mean, is it from some other lifetime or is it from this lifetime? All I know is that he helps you feel safe, and he helps you find some charm within and around yourself, and you feel like you can grow when he is there. This isn't the other person that is in your life, because that feeling that one is not helping you to grow in this social need that you're looking to accomplish, is actually making you feel worse about it, is actually making you, only because you feel kind of bad. There's something not balanced about how you're working together to help each other. There's something not balanced about it, because you're so sweet, and you don't want to be a bother or whatever. It's this other person is actually just really friendly, not like trying to create a relationship, so to speak, but really wants to make you feel and know that you're safe, and really likes to see you. Like seeing you makes him smile, and almost like he really adores your childlike kind of scared side. Really wants to see you bring the confidence out of you. Super good spiritual friend, like a soulmate type, a really good friend. I don't feel the I'm in love with you dashing prince type of moment, but I feel I really, like, I don't know what it is about you. He says this. It's sort of like he is saying, I don't know what it is about you, but I see that sort of shy, sort of childlike, he can see with all of his might, all of his eyes, all of his visual senses, all of his observation ability, that you are totally feeling vulnerable. And see, he is so sweet on the inside that he doesn't want you to feel vulnerable. It's not like he's trying to get a date with you. He actually just, he wants to talk to you. He recognizes you from somewhere. It's a totally on a soulmate level. You're going to discover you're definitely not alone when you get out. I know this is getting overboard, but you're not alone. You're going to discover this is an important message for you, Rose. When you start facing your fear, this is going to go really quick. It's going to be really beneficial for you. So you go out on the nightlife kind of scene. It's okay, even to start with a meetup type of local socializing group. It's okay. You're going to start to feel safe with those friends, and you're going to start to discover that it's okay to be you. It's okay. And you're going to start to feel that I'm not alone at the bar. I'm actually feeling the joy of connecting with people. And it just comes from feeling the balance, or feeling the naturalness. It's a new thing for you, right? It's a totally new thing. Whenever there's a new thing in life, it feels weird. It feels hard to get used to. It feels strange. It feels like we're a fish out of water. But then the more that you kind of interact with that space, that energy vibration, you start to attune to it, and you feel a new version of life. I see this is going to be a bright sunlight type of experience for you. There's a reason why you're getting a craving or a hunger to do this, because there's something about you having more social social activities with adults that is really important for you. You're absolutely on the right track with this. I can feel a huge lift off as far as all that dense energy. There is no I'm in a prison of density. There is okay, I think I can do this. Okay, I actually think I can take this step forward and give this a try. Allow yourself to know it's okay to feel vulnerable, but people do love and they see you, and people are going to be attracted to coming over and just talking to you and helping you to not feel the vulnerability, helping you feel welcomed. And so it's okay. So that is what Spirit wants to share with you. I'm still connected to your spiritual atmosphere, so give me just a moment here while I just see a persona of you, or you're crying, and you're blowing your nose, you're crying. It just feels like there's some other deep stuff going on that has inspired some other things in your life. Just balance stuff, life stuff. But it's deep stuff that you feel, that you think about. I'm helping to nurture that. I'm telling that part of your consciousness, I'm showing it that you can heal the best when you have friends. Friends that can look you in the eye, friends that want to talk to you and get to know you on an adult level. And people that there's something about, you need people to talk to, you need friends. You need to be able to start sharing all that you are, because it's ready to come up out of that deep place now. As the bubbles are coming up out of that place now, and these are sharing bubbles. These are sharing bubbles and developing a new version of confidence and luster about yourself and charisma. And I do see you developing this. It might be really nerve-wracking and slow, but it does pick up, and the easier it gets, you also start to notice other things in your life moving along as well, because you too are moving along in life. If you're not moving forward in life, nothing else will move forward. So now you have to start facing one of your fears, moving forward on that, and everything else will move with you. So that's all I have to share, okay? But thank you so much, Rose, for this opportunity to share energy and help you with these challenges. I hope this spiritual healing and wisdom has been helpful for you. And for those of you watching, if you're interested in experiencing energy work with me, please visit my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all a wonderful day.